What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about how to brainwash yourself into success and confidence as a man. Now, this video is only for the men who already understand that confidence and success need to be backed by hard work and results. I don't care how many times you decide to scream in the mirror, "I am a fit person," or "I am a rich person." That is not going to make it true. You cannot live a life of delusion and expect that something is just going to come out of nothing. But there are a lot of men out there, plenty of men, that put in the work. They put in the effort, and yet they still struggle with confidence, and they still struggle to see success. Why is this? Well, there's something called imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is when men don't feel like they belong. They don't feel like they deserve good things. And it's because in their mind, they have convinced themselves that they are so much more broken than they actually are. A lot of people that struggle with imposter syndrome think that they need more. They need more qualifications. They need more education. They need better looks before they approach the girl. They need more money before they're going to feel secure. They feel like they need a cooler car. The list goes on. They constantly need more in order to feel worthy. Worthy is a very important word because those who feel worthy walk into rooms with confidence. They walk into a room with their chest up and their shoulders back. And success breeds more success. Go ask a salesman. When he closes one deal, he's more likely to close the next one because now he speaks like he just won. Now he speaks with more gravitas. Now he is able to build up momentum and close even more deals. So what you have to understand is that these people with imposter syndrome, there is a short circuit occurring in their minds because they're putting in the work and yet they still, for some reason, can only see themselves in a negative light. How do we go about fixing this? How do we brainwash ourselves and change our pattern of thinking in order to allow us to be successful, build up momentum, and have that confidence? What you need to understand is that even the most successful man on the planet can be broken down if he is viewed in the wrong perspective or through the wrong lens. We are all fallen and broken people. But if you start to focus too much on the aspects of yourself that are negative, you are going to become a negative person. Negativity breeds more negativity. Misery loves company. You will find yourself spiraling, all right? Now, what I've done is I've taken this idea that even the most successful man can be broken down. And I've done it with myself, all right? And as I'm going through this list, I hope you guys don't think that I'm saying all of this stuff just to boost my ego. In fact, I'm going to say some stuff in here that's going to be vulnerable. I'm going to tear myself down a little bit. But I put together a little pros and cons list of myself, 25-year-old Brandon Clark, virgin fitness coach, all right? So there's pros here that go along with who I am as a person. I'm a millionaire at 25 years old. That's super cool. You know, I've got 2 cool cars. I work my dream job. I've got those things that are going for me. I'm young, all right? I've got blonde hair. I've got blue eyes. I think that I'm a pretty decently good-looking guy. I'm charismatic. I know how to speak. I'm Instagram famous. As much as I hate to say that, I go out, I get recognized by people that are like, "Oh, I watch your content, Brandon. That's awesome." I would say that I'm fairly intelligent, all right? But let's get into the cons list. Enough blowing sunshine up my own ass, all right? I have things that if I focus on them too much, I will drag myself down into the depths of hell. I have acne. I have acne scars. I have back knee. I overall don't have very good skin. Something that I have been self-conscious and insecure about for years, all right? I'm always busy. I'm working all the time towards my passion. Yes, I love it, but somebody from the outside could easily look at my life and say, wow, Brandon's always busy. He lives a miserable life. He's a slave to what he's trying to build. You know, he's trying to build something cool. He's trying to build something amazing. Do you see how you can take everything that is a part of your life that could even be considered a pro, and you can easily turn it into a con? All right, and we're going to address this a little bit more when it comes to a female perspective, because often men are seeing themselves through the eyes of a judgmental female, and that holds them back a lot in life. Some men are seeing their lives through the life of a judgmental male as well, maybe a family friend or a family member or somebody who you used to know. They constantly analyze themselves from this evil perspective, this incredibly judgmental perspective, and it cuts men's legs off. It keeps them from achieving this confidence and success in who they are as a person, all right? So somebody can look at my life and say, Brandon's always busy. Oh, Brandon's also very prideful. You know, me being charismatic, me being confident can come off as prideful. A woman might see my Instagram following, that I have 500,000 followers on Instagram, and they might say, oh, he's so self-obsessed. He's constantly making videos of himself and posting videos, all right? Number 5, like a woman could look at the massive following that I have and say, oh man, that's a lot of exposure. You know, there's a lot of exposure going on here. And some people may even look at my content, they might listen to my opinions, and they might say, this Brandon guy's a real asshole. Like, he's just mean, all right? Number 7, some people may say, oh no, he's actually not intelligent. He's a know-it-all. He's a brat, all right? Some people may think that I'm just young and ignorant because I'm 25 years old. These are all different comments that I've gotten. Different people even in my life have told me these different things that are all looking at my life from a very negative perspective. But I look at my life and I see all of the successes that I have. I think a lot of my viewers, a lot of my followers look from the outside and they say, Brandon, you're killing it at 25 years old. You're doing a great job. But with a simple shift of the lens, you can see all of the positive things that you have built in a negative light. Now let's talk about a date that I had once, because there was a moment when I was out with a woman and she was right in front of me and she found my Instagram while we were on the date. So she didn't know that I made videos or anything along those lines. And she made a little bit of a subtle remark that was a little bit negative. You could just feel it. She said, oh, wow. I mean, you're like so out there. That's how she put it. She said, you're so out there. And she made it sound like me having a large following and me posting on social media was somehow a bad thing. Immediately, what this led to was embarrassment on the date. Like, I got embarrassed all of a sudden. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed that she found my Instagram and I wasn't expecting her to find my Instagram and all this type of stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm kind of lame. I've got 500,000 followers on Instagram and I'm posting these videos of me talking. I immediately felt like this embarrassment, like this cringe in what I had created. But then I started to analyze myself. I started to look back at things and say, what am I doing right now? Why am I thinking this way? Why do I feel embarrassed about my following? I get people messaging me every single day, hundreds and hundreds of people saying, Brandon, thank you so much. You've helped me so much. And this one girl that's sitting across the table from me has like a slightly negative remark to say about my social media. And all of a sudden I'm like, damn, dude, I wish I didn't have that social media so I could, I didn't have to feel embarrassed right now. I just throw everything that I've worked so hard for out the window. Stuff that has given me confidence, things that have given me success, and I'm just totally fine with getting rid of it just to avoid that embarrassment. And I'm in my own head realizing this, all right? And so I realized I fell into the lens of a hater, of somebody who is hating on myself all of a sudden because I cared what this girl actually thought of who I was as a person. And this is one of the reasons why I love approaching women so much on a regular basis. It's why I encourage men, go out and talk to beautiful women. Go strike up conversations with them. You don't even have to get their number. You don't even have to ask them out on a date. But go out and just have social interactions. Trust me, it gets your heart going a little bit when you're walking up to a random stranger to start a conversation with them. But then you feel very, very good afterwards. Even if the interaction is a little bit awkward, you learn to just plow through that awkwardness and plow through that embarrassment, and you get a hit of success. Because you're like, oh, now the next conversation won't be so bad. And the next conversation will probably go better, all right? So what you start to realize is that when you approach a woman, you have already created a million different reasons in your head that you've told yourself that this woman should reject you. It happens every single time. Every single time I go up to talk to a woman, I think, this girl might think that I'm a little bit too imposing. She might be worried. Maybe she doesn't get approached that often by random people. I mean, who does anymore? Everybody's addicted to video games and everybody's addicted to scrolling. People barely even talk to each other even anymore. And so you think, oh, I don't want to scare her off. I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. Oh man, I'm not really dressed in the right outfit to go talk to this girl right now. I'm kind of having a bad hair day. I also feel like my mind's not totally there because I got like 5 hours of sleep. I'm just not my most confident version right now. So I'm not going to go talk to her. So before you even go up and talk to a woman, you've already shot yourself in the foot. And you've already said there's a million reasons why this woman should not accept me, why she should not like me, okay? So what you have to understand is that if you focus on the pros of your life, you will immediately have more confidence. But if you spend too much time focusing on these cons, then you are going to lose yourself. The key here is choosing your lens and sticking to it. Staying strong and saying, hey, this is the lens that I am going to view my life through. This is the lens that I am going to continue to see the world through. I choose to see myself in the positive light, in the successes. Because the truth is, no matter how much work you put in, you're never going to be able to convince yourself that you actually are successful or that you actually are a confident person if you don't truly believe it. You can keep chasing the status. You can keep chasing more money. You can keep chasing better looks. But I'm telling you right now, you have to learn to work with what you currently have. Because no point that you get to is ever going to make you feel 100% satisfied and ready to go to approach that woman or to do the thing that you need to do, to post that video on social media, all right? So this leads to the next question, which is, how do you stay humble while keeping a proper frame? Because this information, if it is given into the wrong hands, it can be very dangerous because somebody could immediately wash out all of their cons and just avoid it altogether, ignore the terrible things that they may have going on and just say, oh, I'm going to be super confident. Oh, I'm super successful. I don't give a fuck about what everybody else thinks of me. I'm still going to go do this, but they're actually doing bad things. They're actually hurting people. They're not a good person. So how do you go about staying humble and keeping a proper frame? Well, you have to have other people in your life that you actually trust and people that actually love you and people that actually want success for you to be able to critique you, to give you advice. And trust me, Most of you guys are not surrounded by people that want to see you succeed. When I let somebody into my life as a true friend, and I don't have very many of them, I genuinely have to believe that they want my success for me like I want my success for myself. Because most people don't. You need to find friends or a family member who actually wants to see you succeed. And you can learn this about them by asking them questions or telling them about where you do succeed in certain areas and seeing how they respond. These people that you can actually trust, the people that love you and want the success for you, they can critique you, and you should take their critiques very seriously. You don't always have to agree with them. Sometimes you can disagree with them and say, hey, your frame is wrong, but at the same time, you need that third-person perspective. Now, everybody struggles with this at the end of the day. Every single person is going to struggle to see themselves in a positive light. I think that that's the difference between having a good day and a bad day. Like a bad day, you can just see yourself in a terrible light. You cannot like yourself. You cannot like your situation. You can hate everything about it. But on a good day, you see all the positives in life. Everything looks amazing. All right, so everybody struggles with this, and it's those who create an ego with care and with thought that actually stand the test of time. The people that craft themselves and say, hey, this is who I want to become. And I don't want to deviate from it. I don't want to focus too much on the negatives. This is who I want to become. I want to chase that version of myself. Another thing that is very helpful with developing this level of success is understanding that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. All right, this comes with women, this comes just with life and other people, with family, friends in general. You are not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Some people are simply not going to like you. And I don't want you to take it personally. And you might say, Brandon, how do I not take that personally? That's a personal attack. They're saying, I don't like you as a person. Well, you need to understand that so many people have such different life experiences than you. They've lived a completely different life. What happens is these people have completely different lenses that they're viewing life through. So I want you to think about success in life, building up a business, becoming very wealthy. Well, most people look up to people that are successful. Okay? They think, man, that guy's a hard worker. You know, by the sweat of his brow, he has been able to achieve great things. If you're watching this channel, you're probably like that because you want to be successful. You're chasing success. I myself look at other people and I really respect guys that have built things from the ground up, that have made lives for themselves, especially when they've started from nothing. But there are other people out there that despise success. They think that it's wrong to make money. They think that you are a terrible person for some reason if you buy a nice car. They think that other people that have made money have most definitely screwed other people over and made that money off of the backs of poor people that are doing terrible. Because that's the lens that they have chosen to see life through. They have become allergic to success. They have a completely different backing than you. At their core fundamental structure, they have different beliefs than you. And it's not worth it trying to win these people over. So you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Somebody is going to see you as charismatic and confident. Somebody else is going to see you as annoying and a chatterbox and won't shut the fuck up. Now, a lot of people are their own biggest hater. And this causes you to get absolutely nothing done. And what they like to do is they like to disguise this as perfectionism. They say, oh, it's just not right yet. Going back to the beginning, once I become this much good looking, once I get this much money, once I have this car, then I'll start doing the work that I need to do. Then I'll say that I'm successful. They disguise it as perfectionism when in reality, they're just hating on themselves. And they see themselves through a very negative lens. They don't want to do the work until the time is right. But in reality, they're just running from responsibility. I see this with people that come to me for fitness coaching that are obsessed with their muscle imbalances. They say, Brandon, my left bicep looks a little bit different than my right bicep. Oh, Brandon, one of my legs is a little bit bigger than the other leg. And if there's a strength discrepancy from side to side and it's causing a lot of imbalances and maybe even poses possible injury risks, then yeah, you should definitely pay attention to that. But that's not most people. You see, most people spend so much time in their own bodies, they become hypercritical of themselves because your body wasn't built to be perfectly symmetrical. Your heart is on one side of you. You're probably right-hand dominant, or you're probably left-hand dominant. The sides of your body work differently. You have different vein patterns, even different muscle insertions. My left leg is way smaller than my right leg, but my left glute is way bigger than my right glute. My left bicep looks completely different than my right bicep. I notice these things because I'm in my body all day for years. And so you start to become hypercritical, hyper-analytical, thinking that these things need to be changed, when in reality, that's just part of how your body works. You're not perfectly symmetrical. And so the sooner that you accept that and understand that it's supposed to be that way, the sooner that you can become confident in the way that you look. And the truth is, other people don't recognize these negative things about you because they're not living in your body all day. You recognize them. You can point them out and say, hey, I notice all these different things. But when somebody else is looking at you on a bodybuilding stage, they don't see those differences that you do because they're only looking at you for 5 to 10, 15 minutes. You've been in your body your entire life to notice these things. So understand that when you start noticing all of your flaws, you can continue to focus on them until you hate yourself. And if you do this, you will have no confidence, you will see no success because you don't even want success for yourself. In your own mind, you have convinced yourself that you are not worthy, that you do not deserve it. When in reality, no one else is going to want the success for you more than you need to want it for yourself. No one else is going to want it for you. So if you are not going to fight for you, if you are not going to be confident in who you are, if you are not going to go see success, how do you expect to ever get it? Because it doesn't just get handed to you on a silver platter. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure to drop a like down below. Make sure to drop a singular thumbs up in the comment section if you watched all the way through this video till the end. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.